one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado,
Free smoke.
look. Scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa. Boss forever like they decided to throw me under slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Somebody sent me something on my phone and it said that I hog-tied her. I don't know how to hog-tie people.
When did winning not become the main thing? I always say keep the main thing, where, you know, winning is the only thing that truly matters.
Welcome back to Kicking It with Saint. Yo, the guy Sean Evans on Hot Ones, the chicken show, where they eat a lot of hot wings and ask hotter questions. Yo, I cut my finger at work, bro, and that shit hurt. But anyways, I just saw that Sean Evans is a Chicago Bears fan, and now it all makes sense. Why he eats so many hot wings on a regular basis to fry his brain from that experience he got to witness every Sunday on a yearly basis, watching the Chicago Bears be ass. He probably don't remember a good Chicago team since he was a child, a young buck. And Sean Evans got to be, what, close to his 40s. He probably in his mid-30s right now. He bald, so that's kind of what throw it off. Like, he got a youthful type of face, but he bald-headed and he got some gray hairs in his beard, I believe. So that's what's kind of fucking with me. He might be in early 40s, late 30s. I'm going to look it up and see if I'm right, bro. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I appreciate you being here with me tonight. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me tonight, and I appreciate you so greatly for that. I appreciate all the new viewers, new subscribers. We ain't had a new subscriber in a minute, so we got to get them subscribers up. But I appreciate all the views. We're getting a lot of views lately, so I appreciate all the new views. I appreciate the returning viewers, all my guys. I appreciate it. We got to talk about MVP tonight. We got to sit down and have a real conversation about MVP, because I be having this MVP conversation, but it'd be in between having multiple other conversations about other teams and whatnot. But when we see, this is the beauty of getting these shows out on time. I can use a day like this to talk about other shit other than having to worry about uploading the breakdown from Sunday, Monday. You know what I'm saying? I want to talk about the MVP, though. And I said that I thought that the MVP leader was Brock Purdy. But I have had a revelation. I done had a bit of an awakening, if you will. I do not think Brock Purdy is the MVP. And after hearing a couple people talk about it, but one person specifically sold me on this heavily, I don't think I could vote for Brock Purdy as an MVP just based off of it would go against what I think an MVP is. So let me break it down. I was looking at a show today, and I don't even know this woman's last name. I've never watched this woman before until today. Her name was Liv, though. Liv. And she said, like, she absolutely will not vote for Brock Purdy. Like, that cannot be an MVP to her, because you could put Lamar or Dak in the same situation and they would put up the same numbers, if not better. He is being lifted by great talent. And when I took a deeper dive, and y'all know I don't really like stats, but I took a deeper dive into some of the stats, and I done watched every Brock Purdy game, but I guess I wasn't really watching. I guess I was watching them from a biased perspective, because I've been watching a lot of Brock Purdy tapes today since I got off of work. And you know what? I was wrong. I could not vote for Brock Purdy on a good conscience for MVP, because I don't think that this offense run through Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy do got spectacular numbers, but man, he do have Brandon Ayuk and Debo on the outside, and those are phenomenal targets. You always got the safety blanket and George Kittle. He do damn near got Pro Bowlers lined up all everywhere. Not even Pro Bowlers, all pros lined up damn near everywhere on his offense. And as much as I did defend him during that stretch of bad games, the reality was when he didn't have all of those all pros lined up, he struggled. He looked like an average quarterback or lesser than. And to be quite frank with you, and I done said this what I'm finna say next, I done said this before. He do throw passes in the game that's pickable. Like, dudes just dropped the interceptions. Now, I don't think he done thrown as many pickable throws as of late. But yeah, he had a game earlier in the season where he threw like 4 interceptions on the first drive and every single one of them was dropped. But I get that point also. The other point I get is this offense is legitimately ran through Christian McCaffrey. After watching more of the tape today, I do agree with the people who say it's ran through Christian McCaffrey. This offense goes as Christian McCaffrey goes, because the threat of Christian McCaffrey and the fact that not just the threat, he done been producing all year. That threat alone, mixed with the fact that Kyle Shanahan is now being able to run his offense the way he wants to because he has a great running back. Brandon Ayuk and these dudes get open on these motions and these screens. It's really just Brock Purdy giving it to the dude that's open. He not having to make too many tough throws. He not really being put. You want to know what I do find interesting about this Brock Purdy thing, though? And I don't think I done talked about this yet. Anytime I see like Lamar Jackson, Dak Prescott in his rookie year, Lamar his MVP year, Pat Mahomes in his MVP year, his first MVP year, every single Jalen Hurts last year when he probably would have won MVP if not for getting hurt. Every single one of those black quarterbacks, those African-American quarterbacks. Oh, Saint, you bring your race into it. Bro, turn the show off. Every single one of those African-American quarterbacks during those seasons had a lot of wins, a lot of big games, a lot of big numbers, right? Every single one of those quarterbacks, if you go back to those times, some analysts, multiple analysts kept saying, I want to see how they play from behind. I want to see how they play from behind. I want to see how they play from behind. They complained about these teams blowing those guys out. I have not heard one analyst. Now, don't get it twisted. It is analysts out there who don't believe in Brock Purdy. But the analysts who dick ride him the way they do, I have not heard any of those dudes bring up the fact, have we seen Brock Purdy play from behind? Like you asked about all these other quarterbacks. Have you really seen Brock Purdy in a game where he have to uplift the talent around him? And because of those facts, Liv made a phenomenal point. Off of all of those facts, off of all of those points, I can't put Brock Purdy at the MVP for the simple reason. If I put Dak Prescott in, and this is probably why I felt the way that I felt after watching Dak beat the Eagles. For the simple reason, listen, I told you, I watched the games. I've always said that I think Dak is the better quarterback. I said it last night. I think Dak is better than Brock Purdy. I'm not foolish. I know Brock Purdy is I do not think Brock Purdy would be doing if you put him on. If you switch Brock Purdy to Baltimore or to Dallas, I don't think that you would get the same results he giving you in San Fran. But if you gave San Fran Lamar or Dak, I think they would do the exact same thing. Matter of fact, I think they would be doing better than what Brock Purdy is doing. So because of that, I've always thought that, well, I think Lamar better than both of them. But Dak Prescott to me is better than Brock Purdy. And that's why I said what I said last night when I said I want to see these two teams play again, because I think I'm leaning towards taking Dallas, because I seen Dallas be able to slow down the 49ers offense. They didn't do it the last time they played, but that's because the Dallas offense was incompetent that game. I don't believe Dallas will falter back into that incompetent state of offense. I think they done figured it out and know what they want to go into each week doing. I think Dak, because Dak is the better quarterback between the two, in my opinion right now, I could be proven wrong, but just based off of what I'm seeing right now, Dak to me is the better quarterback. So if they played, I'd take Dak, because that edge, that margin for me is separated by the better quarterback at the end of it all. And that is Dak Prescott. And I'm putting a lot of faith in Dak Prescott. But for the same people who say we never seen Dak Prescott do it, you never seen Brock Purdy do it either. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to mention, one of the things that Liv said, and one of the things that I just hold very high in my standard of an MVP, when you lose key pieces, can you still elevate and win big games? I've never seen Brock Purdy do that. I saw him lose games when he had pieces missing. I never seen him have to elevate. Now, so to the people who say, well, I haven't seen Dak Prescott do it. I seen him do it more than Brock, but the argument wasn't even for Dak. The argument was for Lamar. Lamar don't have his starting running back. He don't have his starting tight end. Not only do he not have his starting tight end, Mark Andrews is his top target, his number one weapon, his safety blanket. He don't have him. Lamar Jackson, each of the last couple seasons, done lost key pieces to his offense. Receivers in and out of the lineup. He still is in the MVP conversation every year because of what he can. He finally got a defense again. He haven't had a defense this good since his rookie season since his MVP season, in my opinion. And even they starting to, they're going to have a bad game here or there down the stretch like they did against the Rams. But look at what Lamar Jackson is doing when he had offensive linemen in and out of the lineup this year. Look at what Lamar Jackson is still able to do. This is why I get so irritated when I constantly hear the critiques and the criticism of Lamar Jackson. I'm not telling you that Lamar can't be critiqued, but for the way that you talk so highly of other quarterbacks who are not better than Lamar, based off of the criteria you tell me, not just an MVP, but a franchise quarterback. I was always told that a franchise quarterback uplifts the talent around them. Now, we kept saying Peyton Manning uplifted the talent around him, even though he played with Hall of Fame receivers. It was no doubt Brady uplifted some of those receivers around him. And that's not a shot at Peyton Manning, but I'm telling you and Peyton Manning did uplift the talent, because when he went to Denver, I don't think, God rest Demaryius Thomas' soul, I never thought he was a great receiver. I just thought he and Eric Decker, the best thing that happened to their careers was Peyton Manning. So quarterbacks like that, I was taught, always uplift the talent. They get more out of the talent around them. I done seen Lamar Jackson do that. I done seen Pat Mahomes do that. But somehow y'all keep judging the results by the team. A team result you use to judge a quarterback. Oh, well, you give quarterback wins. That's not a team result, in my opinion. That's one where you should be able to look at the game and decide, did the quarterback play a great role in us getting that win, or was this just a team win? That's subjective. A Super Bowl being won is a team thing. But y'all always use those type of things to judge Lamar Jackson, but you don't use them to judge some of these other quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson and Pat Mahomes, I've been saying it for the last couple years. Those are the only two quarterbacks that I know for 100% fact make the receivers around them better. Why do I know that? Because I done seen them play multiple years with receivers who no other quarterback will want around them and have to win with them. Josh Allen got Stephon Diggs. I'm not going to keep going over the weapons that Joe Burrow got. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. We see hell, even Minnesota over there, who they could throw a quarterback out there, and they got Justin Jefferson. You look at Seattle with DK and Jackson and Jigba Smith. I think I just said his name all wrong. And Tyler Lockett. You look at some of these teams, and even Tyreek at one point was with Kansas City, but obviously he with Tua now. You see how Tua look with Tyreek, without Tyreek. This is my problem. If we talking about an MVP, to me, the top three candidates for MVP have to be Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Now, I said that a couple weeks ago, but now I'm here to double down. In my opinion, if we are really breaking down, and one of the things that bothered me a little bit about the MVP thing is when you only focus on stats. And here's why. Dak Prescott been blowing out these bad teams, and he did just beat. It's hard for me to give them the Seahawks one because the Seahawks really haven't been consistently good since the beginning of the season. It felt like Baltimore ended that Seattle run, but nonetheless, I give it to them. Those are two teams they beat that was over 500. But if you look at the teams Lamar done beat, you look at the teams Pat Mahomes done, even though Pat Mahomes, you look at the teams Pat and Lamar done had to beat. You look at the talent they have. I love Zay Flowers. I love Odell. CeeDee Lamb is getting picked over both of them receivers right now. And you know it's not a receiver on the Chiefs that you're taking over CeeDee. All I'm saying is, and I'm not telling you that Dak got a crew like over there in San Fran. But what I'm saying is, look at how it's no question that Lamar Jackson is elevating the pieces around him. And he's been doing it his whole career. That's why it's great to see guys be able to uplift him now, which is what I've been saying for so long. At what point in time is it the other people's job who get paid to do a job also? That's why Pat Mahomes is pissed right now. He ain't going to come out and call out Kadarius Toney to the media and whatnot. He a great dude. He a great quarterback. He a great teammate. He the leader of the team. He know he can't come out and do that like Big Ben was doing. However, don't get it twisted. His frustration came from the fact that he tired of seeing what he is seeing from his receivers. Lamar Jackson blew up one year at his receivers finally. Pat Mahomes finally blew up. It's just what happens when you know you putting so much into a game. You know you done given enough to win a game, and the people around you just drop balls, run the wrong routes. They can't get on the same page with you when you're trying to improvise. They don't pick up that extra yard that you need to get they make a play short of the first down marker when it's like, bro, if you had done this, that's the type of shit that eventually piss a quarterback off or a player who know they doing more than what they should have to do to win games. So when I look at the MVP conversation right now, while I do have Dak, Lamar, and listen, I'm a Ravens fan, so I'm all right with people saying, Saint, you're biased. I'm okay with that because it was just recently that I switched up the MVPs the way I had it, because I originally had Brock Purdy. At this very moment, I do believe Dak Prescott is the MVP, because most of my criteria for MVP, Dak fits it. And while I not focus, his numbers do play a part, but obviously they're not the whole part. I'm looking at Dak. I'm looking at how comfortable he look in the pocket. I'm looking at how dominant he is on third down. I'm looking at how great he is at keeping drives alive. And I get it. He playing against weaker competition on a regular basis at this point, it feel like. I understand all of that. But at the end of the day, he don't make the schedule. I do wonder how Dallas end up getting so many weak teams to play, but then you got to remember they play 4 games against Washington and the Giants. So, unfortunately, Lamar Jackson got to play in a division where every single team is over 500. But that would be my rebuttal for why Dak Prescott is not secured as the MVP. I done seen some people say Dak Prescott is a shoo-in for MVP. I actually think Lamar Jackson should be the shoo-in for MVP. And this is why. Lamar Jackson done played the toughest schedule. He played in a tougher conference. He played in a tougher division. And if he win these next 3 games, or go 2-1 in these next 3 games against the Dolphins, the Jags, and the 49ers, I don't think Dak can make a case for MVP unless you just want to focus on numbers, which would be ignorant because Lamar Jackson's numbers would look even better if he didn't keep giving the ball to his running backs in the red zone. But nonetheless, to me, at the end of the day, if Lamar Jackson comes out and plays great and wins those games against the 49ers, again, to me, the 49ers is the big one. Because if he ball out and they win that 49ers game, I think it's almost impossible for Dak Prescott to win MVP over Lamar Jackson. If Lamar don't get hurt or unless Lamar just go in the tank, just throw interceptions left and right to end the season, I would think it would be damn near impossible for him to win MVP over Lamar Jackson because Lamar Jackson would have too many advantages over him. He is a legitimate MVP because his team would not be the same without him, just like Dak, but even to a higher extent. He would have the tougher schedule played. He would have the tougher conference played in. He would have the tougher division played in. He would have beaten the team that smacked the Cowboys and the 49ers. He would have not only would he have beaten the 49ers, that would even add to his strength of schedule, because if they go out there and beat the 49ers, they 100% going to beat either the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Miami Dolphins. At that point, God forbid, if he beat all three of those teams, they need to go ahead and mail the MVP to Lamar, because there's no way you give MVP to anybody else if Lamar Jackson go on that murderer's row of games and win every single one of them. It's no shot that you give MVP to anybody else, because on top of the fact that he would have done all of those things that I said, he would have won those games. Then you would start to have a conversation. Well, if you look at the 3 losses on the season, the Ravens lost those games themselves. They weren't necessarily beaten by the other team. Lamar Jackson could be undefeated right now. Not only that, look at the level of competition he has beaten. Because if it was another quarterback, they keep telling you about the level of competition that Lamar keep beating, that they will be beaten. But if Lamar get through these next 3 games and look good and win them, like to me, the thing that would take Dak Prescott out of the shoe-in for MVP, like the thing that to me would really fuck Dak all the way up is if Lamar win that game against San Fran and they look good doing it, because it's in San Francisco on Christmas. The world going to be watching. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens go out, play great, and they win that game. I don't know how you give Dak Prescott the MVP over Lamar Jackson, because of what Lamar Jackson would have done for his team, and the MVP is a regular season award. So what I think Lamar Jackson's level of difficulty and what he had to do in this year, in this season, in this regular season, would have outweighed what Dak Prescott's numbers might be against bad competition. And I don't believe that that's been a big conversation yet. But if Lamar Jackson go in and beat Jacksonville, San Fran, Miami, that is going to be talked about, because people will get on TV and say, how can you give Dak MVP over a guy who had to go beat Cincinnati, who over 500, the Browns, who over 500, 49ers, who over 500, the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins. Like, that's why it's not a shoe-in for Dak Prescott to win MVP. And Dak is only slightly above Lamar Jackson for me in the MVP conversation. Lamar Jackson is about to go on a 3-game streak where if he win 2 of those 3, like I said, God forbid he win all 3 of them motherfuckers, it's just no shot you give MVP to Dak Prescott. Absolutely no shot you give MVP to Dak Prescott. So my third MVP candidate really don't matter, because I don't think he'll play a tougher schedule. The only way I think Pat Mahomes ends up winning MVP, and this is my thing, because I know they got Brock Purdy, but I don't agree with it. The only way Pat Mahomes could win MVP is if, I don't think they could, even if they won out, it would require Brock playing bad, Lamar and Dak playing bad. So I don't really think they would give it to Pat Mahomes this year. But just off of who I think should be MVP, and let me go ahead and say this, because there's going to be people who be like, oh, I think Tyreek Hill should win MVP. Oh, I think Christian McCaffrey should win MVP. Hey, that's real cute. It really is. And it's real thoughtful. But at the end of the day, I don't know if you know this, but unless you have a historic season like Megatron didn't win MVP when he broke Jerry Rice's record. Adrian Peterson won MVP over Peyton Manning, but I think Peyton Manning still should have won MVP that year over him. Nonetheless, they said if Peyton Manning didn't have so many fucking MVP awards, he would have won MVP that year. But nonetheless, the reality is you're not giving MVP to any of those positional players or skill position players over a quarterback. It's just not happening. Maybe they should create another section of MVP. But at the end of the day, listen, as great a season Tyreek Hill is having, it's no shot I'm giving Tyreek Hill an MVP right now over Brock Purdy, Lamar Jackson. Well, I might consider it against Brock, but It's no way I still would consider it, but I wouldn't give it to him because that's a quarterback at the end of the day. I'm not giving him MVP over. It's no shot I would give him MVP right now over a Lamar Jackson or Dak Prescott. It's no way. As big a role you feel like Tyreek play for his team, both of those quarterbacks play a bigger role for theirs. So whatever role you think Tyreek Hill play in his team being the record that they are, Dak and Lamar play a bigger role in their teams being at the record they are. So it's just no, I listen, some people not going to want to hear that. I love Tyreek. Y'all know how I feel about Tyreek. I talk about him all the time on the show. We was talking about Tyreek, it felt like every show last year. But it's no shot that I'm giving Tyreek Hill MVP over a quarterback that's having a season like a Lamar or a Dak Prescott. There's just no way. You could look at Dak's statistical season, or you could just look at the how great of a season Lamar is having. So to me, either way, whether you want to play the eye test with watching the games with Lamar, or if you want to play the stat test with Dak, hell, if you want to play the stat test, he definitely not gonna win it with Brock Purdy. But it's just no way I would give it to a Tyreek or Christian McCaffrey. All due respect to those two fellas, I wouldn't give it to either of those two dudes. And plus, both of them playing opposite conferences, so they'll both probably win Offensive Player of the Year, respectively. But I'm not giving them the most value. See, that's what I think people keep forgetting. Most valuable don't just mean the best offensive player. Now, I do understand that. That's when somebody will be like, well, that's why we say it's most valuable. Christian McCaffrey. But that's what y'all not thinking about. The only reason y'all thinking about it when we say other players is not a quarterback. But as soon as we say a quarterback, y'all start to say, oh, well, y'all making it a quarterback award. It's like, bro, how more valuable can it get than a quarterback playing great? And I understand you do the eye test shit with Tua. I understand y'all keep saying, well, Tua is good because of Tyreek. Motherfucker, Lamar don't have a Tyreek. Dak ain't got a Tyreek. Mahomes don't have a Tyreek. And they are still having great seasons, and they are more valuable to their team than Tyreek is to his. So that's what I think people kind of fuck up at times. Like, I understand y'all know what MVP is because y'all clearly, the most valuable player for the 49ers is clearly Christian McCaffrey. He the reason they so good. I get that. But then you switch your brain off for some reason when we bring in quarterbacks and think, oh, it's just offensive numbers and what? No, that's why this is a quarterback award, because just the position, the quarterback position is the most important position on the football field. I don't know, regardless if you like it, love it, hate it. I don't know, but that's just how it is. And because that's how it is, quarterbacks have to be MVP, bro. I'm sorry. I don't make the rules. But a quarterback that's doing more for his team, that's doing a lot for his team, usually is going to mean more than another position doing a lot for the team, because quarterbacks play a bigger role in the game. They touch the ball more than any other person on the team other than the center. So if I had to put MVPs out right now, if I had to put my MVP list out right now, it would definitely be Dak, but it would be such a thin margin. Because I truly do believe if Lamar Jackson can win these next 3 games, or just go 2-1 in the next 3 games, but specifically if he win that, because to be completely honest with you, now I don't think he'll go 1-2 or I definitely don't think the Ravens going 0-3 in these next 3 games. If that happened, that'll be wild. That San Francisco game is the one that's really gonna hurt Dak if Lamar win that game. Because San Fran won't be able to play the Ravens again till the Super Bowl if we both make it there. That would be the thorn in the side of San Fran the rest of the season, because they know now they lost to a team that they can't play again. So that San Francisco game looms for the simple fact that both NFC East contenders lost to San Fran in such ugly fashion. Could y'all imagine if Lamar Jackson and the Ravens go out there and get thumped? I don't think it'll happen, but it'll be very interesting, because I actually like San Fran's defense a little bit more than I like the Ravens defense at times. But if I had to rely on one defense throughout a game, because I kind of like the Ravens secondary more than I like San Fran's secondary. But after what Marlowe did last game, it kind of got me worried. You know what I'm saying? Because with Ayuk and Debo being fast guys, that could really fuck Marlowe up. And this the perfect type of game where you get a lot of missed tackles from the Ravens. But we ain't here to break down that game yet. We'll talk about that game when that game comes. But basically, another message I have is I could not give Brock Purdy. Liv has definitely swayed me, convinced me, and changed my mind. It's no way I could give Brock Purdy MVP. And I know it's going to be some San Francisco fans that hear this message eventually. And they're going to be like, oh, this dude, fuck him. Listen, man, just based off of what I feel an MVP is, it would be very ignorant for me to then say, oh, you know what? Brock Purdy's in. That's crazy because of what I think of Lamar and Dak Prescott. Now, I know some people going to get mad because I dropped them out of my rankings altogether. But if you don't understand after everything I just said, that's cool. We don't got to agree with each other. We don't got to agree. If you feel like Brock Purdy is the MVP, though, I would like to hear why in the comment section. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. I'm just fucking with y'all, man. Y'all thought I was gonna end the episode that early, bro. Y'all thought we was finna have a 28 minute, basically a 30-minute episode. No, sir. I want to talk about Shohei Ohtani, bro, because I talked about Shohei the other day, but I'm glad that video messed up because now it's come out that his contract is he gonna defer like $68 million over the next 10 years. So he basically getting paid $2 million over the next 10 years, and then he'll get the rest of that, like 680 million. Wait a minute. He'll get like 640 or something like that after those 10 years is up. I'm not mad at the deal. I don't know why people is mad at this deal, especially seeing as how he gave this offer to every team that he talked to. People just like to be mad for no reason, bro. When your team don't get somebody, you pissed off. If your team would have got him, you wouldn't have heard nothing about the shit. So I don't understand that. But man, if the fucking Dodgers don't win it all, bro, I'm gonna be so disappointed. Well, obviously I'm a Phillies fan, but I told y'all multiple times, I'm a Dodgers fan too. I am rooting so hard for the pause. I'm bro, listen to this. Where did this come from? What show did this come from? I cannot remember where I heard that shit from. I think it's from Family Guy. One day me and my brother stood around at work saying that shit all day, trying to remember where we heard it from. Cause I do a good impression of it. And so we was doing something one day and I was just like, I'm doing now. See, now it's getting progressively worse the more I do it, bro. See? Thanks for ruining a good thing. Anyways, where did that come from? I can't remember where I heard that from. I'm thinking it's Family Guy. Everything in my soul saying it's Family Guy, but I haven't watched an episode of Family Guy in like 5-6 years, bro. When I stopped watching Family Guy, I just never went back. I don't know why. Just never went back to it. I don't know. Also, it was something else I wanted to talk about real quick. Where is it at? Oh, I saw some people talking about is Danny DeVito, and this was crazy. I'm gonna get back to Shohei in a second though. I saw people talking about Danny DeVito. I mean not Danny DeVito, Tommy DeVito. Like, is he better than Brock? I mean, is he better than Daniel Jones and yada yada? So let's have that conversation. All right. It does not matter. It does not matter. I'll say that one more time. It does not fucking matter. Okay. We're done with that conversation. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that was a conversation. But let's talk about, again, I want to hop back to Shohei. Then I want to hop to the Lakers in-season tournament, hanging a banner and shit. Shohei to the Dodgers, though. That's exactly where he should have went. That's where he belonged in that huge market in L.A. Bro, somebody told me, I heard Stephen A. Smith, well, somebody did tell me this, but what Stephen A. Smith said was even worse than what my homie told me. So I want to believe Stephen A. Stephen A. sound worse, so I'm going to go with what Stephen A. said. He said, like, if he made $70 million, he would lose, like, he would only bring home, like, $30 million of that. What? Bruh, stop it. Them taxes in Cali is crazy, bro. What the fuck? Hey, Hey, that kind of pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie to you, but that kind of made me mad. That I ain't gonna. That is crazy. That is crazy. I don't see, now I'm confused why all these creators live in California. Maybe they must be making a real great living out there in California. I'm talking about the creators who, like, you see all the time. I'm trying to figure out how they doing it. Cause that's crazy. Them some crazy taxes. Is it the more you make, the more they take? I mean, obviously I know that's how it works, but like, that's a crazy, I don't like that. I don't think just cause you rich, you should be, oh man, who thought we would have a conversation about taxes? Boy, I guess this ain't sports, bro. I have nothing further. I plead the fifth. On all my thoughts on taxes, I plead the fifth. Except for what Shannon said earlier today. Uncle Sam need to get his own fucking job, bro. Dead ass. Tired of him reaching in my pockets, taking my shit. But let's talk about the Lakers and this in-season tournament banner that them boys about to hang. I think it's goofy. I don't care what nobody say. Listen, bro, it's real funny when I talk. Why do this stuff keep happening to my squad, bro? I said I did not care for the, and it don't matter what people say. My opinion will never be changed on these things, bro. When people talk about the COVID Disney World Championship, bro, I ain't never called it a Mickey Mouse title, but that's kind of how I view it. Yes, I talk about the Lakers having more rings than the Celtics because I hate the Celtics. But when I really talk about it, like deep down in my head, I do not care about that COVID championship. I don't even like that LeBron got that as a ring, bro. I really don't. Not having to go to other buildings, not having to go on the road and play in the other team's arena. That just eliminate everything for me. Now, people keep saying, oh, well, they all played under the same conditions. And that's the problem. They all wasn't supposed to be playing under the same conditions. Essentially, the season did not matter. And that's a problem for me. I think they should have just ended the entire season, to be quite frank with you. Or, listen, you couldn't have elongated it because COVID ended up being like 2-year thing. But I'm not a fan of the COVID championship, and my team won it. So this ain't even one of them situations where people could be like, well, if your team won it, you wouldn't have a problem with it. Motherfucker, my team did win it, and I got a problem with it. I do not acknowledge that championship unless I'm trying to be petty to a certain sports group. Aside from that, I'm gonna tell you I was funny. I got this smooth ass Laker hoodie, championship hoodie, that was made. I'm trying to remember what company made this shit. I think Mitchell and Ness. It's one of them companies that sell high end ass hoodies, not like designer. One of the sports brands that sell like nice hoodies. I bought like a black and gold one for their COVID championship, and I only bought it because that shit was hard as hell, son. I did not buy it because I actually cared about the title. I just bought it because the hoodie was hard. But I don't care for that COVID title, just like I don't give a fuck about this in-season tournament. Listen, I respect the NBA trying to go all out to make these games feel more important and all that. But at the end of the day, the NBA ain't gonna never be able to fix the entitlement problem with the fans because they continuously try to blame it on players. So that'll never matter. These games happen during the NFL season. They will never matter until the NFL season is over. Hardcore fans of the NBA, sure, they will watch these games. Most of the world is watching the NFL. So I don't really care about like the coverage for the NBA in-season tournament. It felt like it was happening every day, and yet it felt like none of it mattered because we was always going to be overshadowed by a football game at the end of the day. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys is playing great. Nobody care about the NFL, the NBA, while the Dallas Cowboys is balling out like this. So, listen, and I just think it's kind of funny that they're going to actually hang an in-season tournament banner, bro. Now, here's my rule for this. If you hang that banner, you better win an NBA championship to be able to hang that shit too. Because if you don't win an NBA championship this year, bro, you better tear that fucking banner down and throw that shit in the trash can, bro. Who the fuck care about an in-season tournament? Dead ass. I heard more players talk about they didn't know what was going on than players who actually cared about the shit. So I'm telling you right now, if you don't win an NBA championship also this year, you better take that fucking banner down. Matter of fact, I don't even think they should hang that shit until we win a championship if we win that this year. Point blank period. But with that being said, I'm done ranting. All right? I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Listen. I saw, hey, you want that girl? You go out there and get her, big dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't care how many messages it take you to get her. If you think she the one, go chase her. All right? I'm rooting for you. Cause I saw some shit today that made me say, I heard and saw some shit today that made me say, you know what? Fuck it. Y'all do what y'all do, man. I'm rooting for you nonetheless. Hey, I'm in your corner regardless. But you got to protect your mental. That's all I'm going to say. But if you one of them dudes who built for it, you built for that long haul, you built for it until you get that definitive, hey, do you, big dog. Go get her. With that being said, tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Lamar Jackson is the motherfucking MVP by the end of this season. I love y'all. Like, subscribe, share. Saint out. Broncos country. Let's ride.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, she know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.